Now at 9, we'll hear from organizers of the final Joplin Memorial Run as they prepare for tomorrow's event. Plus, the city of Carthage holds a special council meeting to discuss the removal of Mayor Dan Reif. And Fort Scott Community College has a new recording studio for students to use.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. The Carthage, Missouri City Council today held a special meeting to discuss the removal of Mayor Dan Reif. It started with some discussion as members of the council introduced a substitute resolution for the mayor's removal, which was different from the posted agenda before the meeting. The council then moved forward with an impeachment hearing of the mayor to set up his removal. However, the mayor vetoed the motion, pushing the dispute to the next council meeting.
Because of different factors, I asked the council to substitute a resolution for the one that was on the agenda. They did so, and that is what was vetoed by the mayor.
The mayor has the authority under the city charter to veto any ordinance or order of the council that provides for the expenditure of city funds. And so, as a result, once the ordinance passed, the mayor exercised his veto power to kill the ordinance until the city council has a chance to override it.
The next meeting will be Monday at 6:30 p.m. It was a little warm out there today, meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney.
It's going to continue to be warm for the next couple of days into the weekend. Right now, temperatures now dropping down to the lower 70s and upper 60s. 70 in Cassville, 72 in Grove, and 70 in Pittsburgh. So we are cooling down tonight, but we also have a few showers, one just moving south of Joplin. Other than that, we're looking pretty clear for the next several days. We don't have anything going on until Monday. So it's going to be a nice weekend if you want to get some mowing done and just being outside in general. But temperatures are going to get pretty warm, not to mention we've also got some fog rolling in the early hours Saturday morning, a little low visibility by 7 a.m. So this is your chance to sleep in on the weekend. I'll have more details for you in just a bit.
Thanks, Lindsay. Some landowners in southeast Kansas make a push to get rid of wind and solar power in Crawford County. Today, the Crawford County Commission heard arguments whether or not to extend a moratorium on further development of wind and solar farms in the county. The plan of the commission is for the incorporated areas. The moratorium expires on December 31st, 2024. The Circuit Court of Cole County, Missouri issues a ruling against Denali Water Solutions this week at issues with whether or not the Fertilizer Control Board of Missouri was required to issue Denali a permit for such things as field inspections or enforcement procedures. In October of 2023, the Missouri Department of Natural Resources responded to calls alleging over application of industrial process wastewater at a property in Southwest City, Missouri. In November, a court ordered Denali to stop land application in Missouri and empty its storage basins. This week's court ruling determined that the fertilizer law does not require the Fertilizer Control Board to issue permits to Denali. We reached out to the Arkansas-based company earlier today who issued a statement which reads in part, quote, "While we do not agree with the court's decision, we will continue to comply with the state's rules to collaborate with regulators and policymakers to manage residuals for the benefit of Missouri's environment and communities," end quote. You can read full statements on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Tomorrow, runners will lace up their shoes to participate in the last Joplin Memorial Run. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how organizers and participants are working to make the final race come together.
It's going to be extra special because it's the last one, so we got to make it the best one.
After more than 10 years, runners are preparing to take their final strides in the Joplin Memorial Run. Roughly 2,300 people are signed up to participate in the event, a number the race director says is far higher than in previous years. She says organizers came to the difficult decision to end the race due to declining participation and rising costs.
We're struggling to get volunteers and struggling to cover expenses. Then we have to cut things that we feel are valuable. So we just felt like, hey, it's time to go ahead and just have one final event, do a really nice job, go out big, and just make it a really good time for everybody in the final year.
The memorial run honors the victims of the 2011 Joplin tornado. Some runners say it's disappointing to lose this opportunity to honor their memories.
And it just kind of feels like, are we going to lose that sense of community by not coming together every year to memorialize all those lives that were lost?
And while some are sad to see the race go, they say they are using this as an opportunity to find more ways to join the community in remembering the tragedy.
I'm really sad that we're not going to be able to do it in a race, but there's obviously more opportunities throughout the community that we could be a part of. But yeah, I'm sad that it's ending, but I'm happy for other ways that we can be a part. So.
Both runners and race organizers say they hope to make this final race a meaningful end to a beloved tradition.
It's meant a lot to see the Joplin community still embrace this event and say, hey, we want to really take it out well.
In Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Tomorrow's event will end with the 161 race banners representing the victims of the Joplin tornado being given to the families following all races. Tonight, Joplin residents came together to honor the tornado's victims with a walk of silence. The walk is 2 miles total and takes people from Memorial Hall to the race banners recognizing all the lives lost. This is also an annual tradition, and like the run, this will be the final year of the Walk of Silence. The 4-State Farm Show kicked off in Pittsburgh today. Around 700 vendors set up displays this year. Most are inside Pitt State's Robert W. Plaster Center, with some outside nearby. Officials say the show offers people the chance to check out the latest technology in farm machinery and construction equipment, as well as some jewelry, art, and hunting supplies.
In addition to the quality equipment with Vermeer, Manitou, and Air-Equip that we had last year, we've added a line of the Deutz Far tractors to our product, to our sales product, and we have some of those here at the show this year.
The farm show will run through Sunday if you'd want to attend. The music department at Fort Scott is making some additions to help interest prospective students. I sat down with the music department director and spoke about what they're doing.
The more that I went out and spoke with area students, the more I realized that this digital music and music production is something that's very, very popular among students, and so Fort Scott is just looking for a way to connect more with students, and this was not necessarily an easy thing, but this was something that we could do to try and make that reachable for more students in the area.
Chris Goddard just finished his first year teaching at Fort Scott Community College, and now he's taking steps to increase interest in the school and its music program.
When I came in, if we're going to increase numbers and we're going to give Fort Scott Community College something that is unique compared to the offerings of other schools in the area, then this is exactly it. We're going to have to stand out one way or another, and to my knowledge, there's no school that offers something like this for scholarship students in the area.
Starting fall of 2024, this unused computer lab will be converted into a music studio, allowing students to expand their education beyond playing an instrument or just singing.
We're going to have 5 students in the program in the fall. If that goes well and it's not too overwhelming for the instructor, then we'll increase the size of the enrollment, and yeah, keep on going from there.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News. Goddard says they already have the base budget for the studio. However, they are seeking community help and asking for donations for equipment and other various aspects for the studio. Coming up, COVID-19 showing up yet again.
Health officials are closely monitoring 2 new COVID variants. I'm Mather Rivera in Washington with the latest from the CDC and the potential for a summer surge coming up. Scientists say they've made progress towards creating a vaccine for HIV.
Using a technique called germline targeting, they've helped induce cells in the bodies of monkeys and mice to help create HIV antibodies. The study's authors say more studies need to be done, but the results are promising. While COVID-19 levels are considered relatively low, a new crop of virus variants is putting health officials on high alert heading into the summer. Fox's Madeline Rivera has the latest from Washington.
Health experts are closely watching the emergence of 2 new COVID variants, warning of the potential of a summer surge.
These variants are part of a new family of variants that are called FLIRT. And yes, you did hear that right. Scientists have nicknamed this new group of variants FLIRT based on the technical names for their mutations.
According to the CDC, the so-called FLIRT variants, labeled KP1 and KP2, account for nearly a third of COVID-19 cases in the U.S.
FLIRT variants are definitely something to watch. Scientists are warning that they may be better at evading the immune system due to mutations in the spike protein. And of course, the waning immunity and poor uptake of the latest COVID vaccine have also made us more susceptible.
The FLIRT variants were first detected in wastewater surveillance. In Las Vegas, wastewater surveillance started in 2020, initially looking for the pathogen that causes COVID-19, has since extended to examining flood control channels in hopes of identifying health issues like COVID variants and protecting hundreds of unhoused residents living in tunnels.
When we see these spikes, we can then deploy resources that are usually limited to provide a choice for the community there to decide whether they would want to be tested, whether they would want to be vaccinated.
Still, the CDC estimates fewer than 1 in 4 adults have received an updated COVID-19 vaccine in the past 9 months.
There is definitely an element in America of vaccine fatigue. They just feel like they've had a lot of vaccines and they're sort of getting tired of the process.
Experts recommend anyone who hasn't gotten last fall's vaccine consider getting it now. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Lindsay is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, Missouri Southern baseball takes on the University of Arkansas at Monticello in the second game of the Division II regional tournament. We'll have the highlights.
Well, today was a pretty warm day, so let's take a look outside right now. Downtown Joplin from Cornell Arts and Entertainment Center. A few clouds in the area, a little breezy, but overall pretty nice night. We do have the chance to still see a shower or two tonight, but we're not really expecting much, and we won't see anything until later on Monday. So all weekend it's going to be pretty warm outside. We're getting to the upper 80s, and with all the rainfall that we've gotten, we're also nearly out of a drought. Most of us are clear from drought, but just south of Joplin still in some dry conditions, but we do have some more rain rolling in next week, so hopefully that will fix itself. And in the morning we also have pretty low visibility. If you're getting up, getting them out Saturday morning, 7 a.m., we'll have half-mile visibility in most of the Kansas and Oklahoma counties. If you cross over the Missouri border, you'll mostly be clear, and it'll clear out pretty quickly as well. But it's just a good excuse to sleep in. For the rest of the weekend, we're getting up into the 80s. It's going to be sunny all weekend long. 84 Saturday, 87 Sunday. Foggy morning on Saturday. Warm temperatures up into the upper 80s and sunny all weekend long. But we do have some rain rolling in, and we'll take a look and see if we got anything going. Sunday, maybe a few showers in those northern counties. And then here comes Monday. We've got that rain pushing in, and we do also have an alert day, possible alert day set for Tuesday. So temperatures this weekend up to the upper 80s, and that sticks around until the rain comes in. Then we're going to cool off after that, and the low temperatures, we're finally hitting 70 degrees Monday night, so we're getting pretty warm over the next several days. We haven't broken 80 degrees yet. We haven't gotten up to 90, and we might have the chance for that Sunday. Sun comes out, temperatures are forecasted 87 in some areas. Could see even warmer temperatures than that. Then we've got some scattered thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but that possible alert day for Tuesday, temperatures are getting up to 88 degrees. That low the night before, 70, so it's going to be pretty warm. We have all the parameters for severe weather, so we're going to keep our eye on that. And then into End of the week, Thursday, Friday, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures do cool off Thursday down to mid 70s, but will warm back up in the weekend, back into the 80s, and more chances of scattered thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well.
Today was the first day I sweat this year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a feat. That's incredible.
I was really proud of myself.
I've had to start walking my dogs before sunrise because it's been so hot for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, today was the first day I sweat.
It was
that may be too much information, but
unfortunately you've got the whole weekend of temperatures in that baby. So good luck with that.
Thanks.
I wish you the best.
Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, the benefits of more education.
The results of a new study are revealing positive economic signs for college graduates with double majors. I'm Chanley Painter. Details coming up.
The Central Elementary School in Baxter Springs hosted a Career Day event today for the kiddos. Students from 13 different 3rd through 6th grade classes took part in the event, which was designed to encourage students to stay in school and remind them of the importance of getting a good education.
I think it's important for them to start thinking about what they want to be when they grow up. Yeah, they'll have plenty of time to change their mind, but it gets it on their mind, and it kind of relates back to the lessons that they're learning in class with science and math and how they can use those as they grow up, and it gives them something to look forward to and work for.
And this is our chief photog, Ty Parks, who also treated the kids to a drone demonstration. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. An American-made pier in Gaza helps aid trucks provide much-needed support to civilians. Plus, the Department of Justice moves one step closer to lowering the classification of marijuana. About 1 in 7 Generation Z credit card borrowers have maxed out their credit limit. That's from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which also says credit card delinquencies have surpassed pre-pandemic levels and continue to rise. The Fed says part of the reason Gen Z borrowers are maxed out is because they have much lower credit limits. Many younger Americans haven't had the time to build credit histories and credit scores that would let them borrow more. It's that time of year again where college graduation ceremonies celebrate students' hard work, but the findings of a new study suggest all that effort could especially pay off for grads who earned double majors. Fox News correspondent Chanley Painter breaks down the research.
With college commencement season underway, many graduates are excited about starting the next chapter of their lives.
It feels very good because it was hard.
But while it's normal to have jitters about the future,
it feels surreal. It's very bittersweet.
In the wake of ongoing inflation and corporate layoffs, grads are entering a job market that can look a tad concerning. But according to a new study from The Ohio State University, those with double majors could help shield their future incomes from dropping if the economy tanks.
We find the value of a double major is to protect the earner against downswings in earnings. Earning a double major reduces the impact of a negative earnings shock by about 56%.
The research indicates those with double majors have a greater diversity of skills they can offer companies. This not only can help them find more stable jobs, but could prevent them from earning less money if factors cause wages to fluctuate.
So you could think of a large shock maybe as a large layoff. So maybe a lot of people in a particular major get laid off for some reason due to the economy.
Income protections also increased when students earn double majors in different fields.
When the majors are pretty closely related, we find less of a reduction in that earnings shock. They experience about a 34% protective effect.
Meanwhile, those no longer in school shouldn't fret. Consumer science experts say those with only one major can still expand their skill sets by completing professional certificates online. I'm Chanley Painter, Fox News.
Up next, we'll check out a special Career Day event for some Baxter Springs, Kansas elementary students.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. Trucks carrying humanitarian aid for the Gaza Strip crossed over a U.S.-built pier today. It comes as Israeli forces locate more hostages. Fox News correspondent Alex Hogan has more.
Israeli forces recovering the bodies of 3 hostages in the Gaza Strip overnight. The IDF says that they were killed while trying to escape a music festival during Hamas's October 7th attack. More than 100 hostages are believed to still be in Hamas captivity.
We will leave no stone unturned. We will do everything in our power to find our hostages and bring them home.
It comes as fighting rages in the northern and southern parts of the Strip. Israeli officials announcing plans to send more forces to the city of Rafah.
Hamas is not an organization that can reorganize at the moment. It does not have reserve troops. We are cutting it off. We are wearing it down.
Meanwhile, trucks carrying desperately needed food, medicine, and other supplies began crossing over a U.S.-built pier into Gaza on Friday.
The pier will complement what's going into Gaza. There'll be a security issue there. The Israelis are going to have to protect it for sure.
With heavy fighting impacting land deliveries, military officials say the pier will allow for aid to be funneled into the Strip from various countries. The goal is to have as many as 150 trucks enter the territory each day. But as some land routes remain closed, aid agencies fear the new shipments will not be enough to prevent a humanitarian catastrophe.
Getting aid to people they need into and across Gaza cannot and should not depend on a floating dock.
According to the UN, about 500 aid trucks crossed into Gaza daily before the start of the war. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Things got a little heated on Capitol Hill last night in a House Oversight Committee meeting. The lawmakers were gathered to decide whether to recommend holding Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt when the personal insults started flying. At the center, Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene and her response to a question from Democrat Jasmine Crockett. In what would be a major shift in U.S. drug policy, marijuana is one step closer to being classified as a less dangerous drug. The Justice Department unveiled the proposal yesterday. It still needs to be approved, but as Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor reports, it comes as President Biden tries to reconnect with young voters.
Far too many lives have been upended because of failed approach to marijuana, and I'm committed to righting those wrongs.
That's the promise from President Biden as his Justice Department officially moves to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug.
This is monumental.
Currently, marijuana is a Schedule I drug, along with heroin, LSD, and ecstasy. Drugs the government says have no accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. If the DOJ's proposal is approved, marijuana would become a Schedule III drug, alongside ketamine, some steroids, and other substances with moderate to low risk of addiction.
No one should be in jail for using or possessing marijuana.
The move is likely to be a popular one among younger voters, a key group Biden is losing ground with. A recent Fox News poll shows his approval with voters under 30 has dwindled to 49%. But some Democrats think they'll come around.
They're not going anywhere. If you think they're going to sit on the sideline and not vote, you're wrong.
It's now up to the DEA to make the final decision on marijuana's classification, but it's unlikely they'll shoot down the proposal given the president's support. But not all law enforcement is on board.
I tragically lost a son, an 11-month-old granddaughter, and a daughter-in-law to somebody who was driving under the influence of alcohol and marijuana. I think any drugs that alter somebody's mental state or can put somebody else's life at risk should not be tolerated.
The proposal would not make marijuana legal, but Fox News polling shows 69% of registered voters would support such a move. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
A bit later, get your engines running.
It is All-Star Race Weekend here in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. I'm Madison Allworth on the start-finish line. I'll tell you all about this historic track and the $1 million purse after this.
Well, we're warming up for the rest of the weekend, getting into the upper 80s. We've had some rain this week, but we're cleared out for the next several days. So taking a look at downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Center, we do have a few clouds and maybe a shower still sticking around tonight. But for the rest of the night and the weekend, looking pretty good. We're not really expecting much else going on until Monday. So this would be a perfect time to mow your lawn as we dry out. Now, we are also completely out of a drought except for just a little spot south of Joplin and east of Miami, still in a bit of a dry condition, but still, that's only dry. One nice rain shower can clear that up. The rest of us are out of a drought. So we've had a lot of rainfall, which is good. We've also got some fog rolling in tomorrow morning. This is your chance to sleep in, a good excuse to sleep in. 7 a.m., about half a mile visibility, maybe a little less in some areas if you are in Kansas or Oklahoma, but on the Missouri side, looking pretty good, and then it'll clear out pretty quickly as well. For the rest of the weekend, looking good. Sunny skies all weekend long. Temperatures 84 on Saturday, 87 on Sunday. Now that's just for Joplin. As we've seen, surrounding counties can get a little bit warmer than that. So we may see temperatures hitting 90 degrees this weekend. And like I said, we've got some fog early Saturday morning, no fog on Sunday. Hot temperatures, sunny weekend. We might see some rain showers pushing in on Monday. So future track, we've got a few possibility of rain showers just near Yates Center on Saturday night, but the rest of us looking clear. And this is Sunday evening, 7 p.m. It's not hitting us until Monday morning, but we do have those storms rolling in. They're going to be west of Wichita by 7 p.m. on Sunday, then it'll continue to push in, although we're still a few days out. And we do also have a possible alert day set for Tuesday. It's going to be pretty hot, up to 88 degrees. And the warmer the temperatures, the more instability tends to build. We've got other parameters that are really adding up to giving us some significant severe weather on Tuesday. So we're going to keep an eye out for that. We are getting those storms on Monday, but we're not seeing as strong storms as we will on Tuesday. But for the rest of the weekend, Saturday, Sunday into the 80s, lows only dropping down to the low 60s, and 70 degrees is our low on Monday night and into Tuesday morning. Tuesday, we're up to 88, that possible alert day, so we'll keep an eye on it, and then scattered thunderstorms continue Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, with those partly cloudy skies, temperatures drop a bit, and then we'll be back into scattered thunderstorm chances next weekend.
That sweet spot of like 70 went away pretty fast.
It did. Well, that's spring for you. It's 70, but you don't get the sunny, you get the rain.
Yeah.
And then we're sunny skies and 90s pretty soon.
Sweating.
Not loving that. Not loving that.
Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up in sports, postseason high school baseball continues in Southwest Missouri. We'll take a look at the scores. Plus, Missouri Southern baseball seeks a spot in the regional title game. Brock Baldridge will bring us the highlights and more.
Central Region Tournament in Joplin. Missouri Southern baseball started things off with a bang yesterday, winning on a walk-off single thanks to Garrett Rice. Now this evening the Lions play Arkansas Monticello, who also won their first game. Here we go from day 2 of the Central Region. The host, Missouri Southern, faces the GAC tournament champs of Arkansas Monticello. So we pick things up in the 3rd inning. Drew Townsend gives this ball a ride deep to center field. The outfielder it's a little twisted and disoriented there, and that ball falls down for a hit and bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. Southern leads 1-0. Later in the inning now, Henry Kuziak singles sharply up the middle for an RBI. That gives Drew Townsend time to score. And with that hit, Kuziak sets the MIAA conference record for most hits in a career. Lions go up 2-0. We go to the 6th now. Kuziak stays hot as this ball is belted deep to left field. The outfielder's out of room, and it's out of here. Solo bomb makes it a 3-0 game. The Lions led 4-0 at one point, but in the bottom of the 7th now, look at this. Southern leads 4-3. Drew Davis lays out. We just saw a man fly. Unbelievable diving catch. He keeps it a 1-run game. Next batter now, Bull Weevils make it interesting as Chase Cripps hits this over Kuziak, and that rolls into the gap. Arkansas Monticello takes a 5-4 lead after the RBI triple. Last chance for the Lions now. Bottom of the 9th. Dying run at the plate. Drew Townsend pops up, and that will be your ball game. Arkansas Monticello wins the game 7-4. Southern will face Harding tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. with their season on the line. Well, Crowder College Baseball begins its best-of-3 series against Seminole State this afternoon in the South District Tournament Championship. The Rough Riders look to win, and if they do so, they'll advance to the JUCO World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. The Rough Riders coast to an easy 11-2 victory in Game 1 of the series against the Trojans this afternoon. The Rough Riders have not lost a game in the month of May. They have now won 6 in a row, and they are 3-0 on the season when facing Seminole State. In high school baseball tonight, Neosho High School Baseball tries to make it to the district championship game. The Wildcats play in this Class 6 District 6 semifinals, and they fall short just against Nixa 3-2, and their season unfortunately comes to an end. Well, there was a lot of discussion in the past 24 hours where Webb City Baseball will play Carl Junction in the Class 5 District 7 title game. The district host was in Belton, Missouri, which is well over a 2-hour drive away. Well, the Missouri State High School Activities Association stepped in and announced that the district championship game between Webb City and Carl Junction will be moved to Warner Turner Field in Joplin on the campus of Missouri Southern. So obviously a much better deal for that. Instead of driving up nearly towards Kansas City, you get to have it right here at home.
It's nice to have a home game. We're going to be able to see everyone just cheer them on. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited for that on Monday.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good one. Thanks, Brock. We're back with more after this. This weekend is the NASCAR Cup Series All-Star Race. Fox Business correspondent Madison Allworth is at the racetrack in North Carolina with what we can expect.
It is All-Star Race Weekend here in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. NASCAR coming back to this track for the first time last year after this sat empty for 26 years. That one race weekend had an economic impact of $42 million on the state, and they're expecting the same, if not more, this year. Fans come in from all over. There will be 48 states represented here this weekend and 8 different countries. It is a huge boon for the area, from hotels to stores to restaurants. We talked to a restaurant owner who was right along the parade route. He says the return of NASCAR to the area has created a huge economic opportunity during race weekend, and he thinks it's going to expand beyond that.
We saw it a lot in terms of events like this downtown. And what we want to do is continue and engage the track and the towns per se, and build a link between those two, whether it's transportation or something to allow people to not only experience the track, but experience what we have to offer here in downtown or in other parts of the community.
But it is also a huge economic opportunity for the drivers. This weekend, drivers will be competing for a $1 million prize. Before they hit the track, I got a chance to jump in the car with Zane Smith. If you want to catch the professionals who don't clutch their chest while driving around this track, that race will air live at 8 p.m. Eastern this Sunday on FS1. The track is repaved and ready to go. In North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, I'm Madison Allworth, Fox Business.
Coming up, we'll check out the new movies releasing this weekend in theaters and on streaming. A star-filled animated adventure, a horror movie kicks off a trilogy, and more in this week's new releases. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Imaginary friends are real.
The magical PG animated adventure If is on screens nationwide. Written, directed by, and starring John Krasinski, along with Ryan Reynolds and Kaylee Fleming. The story is about a girl who discovers she can see everyone's imaginary friends and tries to reconnect the Ifs with their kids. Why are you doing this to her? The horror flick The Strangers Chapter 1 kicks off a new trilogy, starting with a couple forced to spend the night at a remote cabin where they're terrorized by 3 masked strangers.
I want people to hear my voice.
The music of Amy Winehouse was director Sam Taylor Johnson's inspiration as she told the story of the late singer in Back to Black, starring Marisa Abella. The biopic covers Winehouse's early rise to fame, the tumultuous relationship which inspired that iconic album, and her battle with addiction.
Just pinch myself when I get a chance to be part of it.
Flying onto IMAX screens May 17th, then on Prime Video May 23rd, is the documentary The Blue Angels. J.J. Abrams and Glenn Powell are among producers of the film, which features never-before-seen footage as they follow a year with the Navy's Elite Flight Demonstration Squadron, from training through show season. Netflix adds Thelma the Unicorn about a pony who dreams of becoming a music star, but learns a lot on her journey to fame after being mistaken for a unicorn. Brittany Howard and Will Forte are among star voices.
I cannot live at home any longer.
Plus, audiences can return to Bridgerton for Season 3, where Penelope Featherington is at the center of the story, searching for a husband while still trying to keep her double life as Lady Whistledown a secret.
You are Penelope Featherington, do not forget that.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with video of otters at the Melbourne Zoo. Have a great night, and from all of us here at KOAM, have an even better tomorrow.